Today I'm going to explain about AUTOSAR. AUTOSAR stands for Automotive Open System Architecture. AUTOSAR is an open and standardized automotive software architecture jointly developed by automobile manufacturers, tool developers and suppliers. We can say like BMW, Robert Bosch, Continental Automotive, and AUTOSAR have some of their core partners like Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen, and they have associate members also Valeo, Volvo, Honda, etc. Increasing complexity of automotive requirements in ECU was a major motivation for developing AUTOSAR. So, writing code for ECU becomes very easy because of using AUTOSAR. AUTOSAR acts as a platform where common basic requirements in ECU is fixed and the code is written, tested and freezed. So you can use the modules and we can write code. And with the help of this fixed AUTOSAR software, it is simple to do changes related to hardware and other ECU specifications. So the time for writing the code if you use the AUTOSAR project be less while comparing with non-AUTOSAR projects. The main difference between the AUTOSAR and non-AUTOSAR project is, for example, if it is a non-AUTOSAR project, all the modules is nothing but source file and header file have direct relationship with the hardware. You can see the first diagram, conventional diagram. It is a direct relationship between the software and the hardware. But in case of AUTOSAR software, it has systematic approach hardware interaction, and it has n number of layers between hardware and the softwares. You can see in the second diagram, application software and hardware. In between that you have AUTOSAR. So modules doesn't have direct interaction with the hardware. It will interact with layered approach because in between application software and the hardware we have many layers. So you can see in the second diagram, hardware and software will be widely independent of each other. Development process will be simplified, so and it also reduces the time as well as cost. The AUTOSAR specifies a 3-layer architecture. One is application layer, another one is RTE, and final one is basic software. The basic software is further subdivided into service layer, ECU abstraction layer, then microcontroller abstraction layer. Then we have microcontroller and finally complex driver. First one is basic software. The basic software consists of collection of software files, that is code and description, that defines a certain basic software functionality present on an ECU, like basic protocols like CAN communication module and other diagnostic requirements like UDS and everything. Code which is present in the basic software will include basic requirements of all ECU, and code present here will have interfaces to application layer via RTE and the hardware. Already I mentioned that basic software is subdivided into 3 things, that is service layer, ECU abstraction layer and the microcontroller abstraction layer. First one is service layer. It has modules which are purely software dependent, which means the modules present in these layers will not have dependency to hardware, and the Service layer have 4 services, which are communication service, memory service, system service, and diagnostic services. I will explain all these services in my upcoming videos. Second one is ECU abstraction layer. The modules which have dependency to the peripherals of the ECU will be present in the ECU abstraction layer. And the final thing is microcontroller abstraction layer. The modules which have direct interaction with the microcontroller or drivers. I mean drivers present in the microcontroller, that is the microcontroller abstraction layer. This layer will have direct interaction with the microcontroller as well as hardware. And finally the application layer. The application layer constitutes the topmost layer within AUTOSAR software architecture, and it is defined to be a critical for all the vehicle applications. In my upcoming videos, I will clearly explain about each and everything. I just explained the basic overview of AUTOSAR and AUTOSAR architecture. In my upcoming videos, I will explain all the services and diagnostics, DCM concepts, DEM concepts, as well as COM stack. Thank you.